PSA to fashion brands, we need more size ranges, mainly so we can stop ending up with pants that fit like this. But if you do have jeans that are a bit baggy at the waist, this is a very easy sewing hack. You can try it without needing any sewing experience whatsoever. We're starting by placing our jeans on a flat surface. You can measure the back of your pants if you want to, or you can eyeball it like I did. So I just grabbed 1 inch wide elastic. As you can see, I'm kind of stretching it to see how much I want it to be pulled in by when I do add it in. And I'm just going to cut that strip. The sewing pulleys will definitely come for me here. I'm using the match and I'm just burning the ends of my elastic so it doesn't fray. Then as you can see, you'll be left with a clean strip of elastic that we want to add to the back. So the aim is to add the elastic to the back to scrunch the waist a little bit, but to do that we need an opening. So that's where we're taking our seam ripper. I'm kind of just gauging where I want to start seam ripping and stop seam ripping from the back. And I'm just making a little hole on both sides of my jeans. By that I would normally recommend seam ripping where the loop hole is, just so that when you do add the elastic, like everything can be hidden when you stitch it back up. But I didn't want to get rid of this label, so I just did it across or next to the label instead. Now we have our 2 holes. I'm grabbing my loop turner. If you don't have a loop turner, you can use a safety pin instead. And I'm just sticking it through one hole until it pops out the other hole. And then I'm just going to hook my elastic at the top and I'm pulling it through. We just want to bear in mind that one end of the elastic should sit next to or just above where that first hole is, and the second side of the elastic should sit above where the second hole is. So we're hiding our elastic in that waistband, but we do want to pin it in place here and then pin it in place on the other side as we're pulling it through, just so that it doesn't shift and so that we can stitch it in place. I'm going to go in with my hand needle and thread and I'm stitching along where we've pinned, just so that elastic that we've threaded through doesn't budge. You can do this on your sewing machine. I just did it by hand because it's easier. And then you want to make sure that you're using a thread that it matches your jeans perfectly so that it doesn't show. Like I mentioned earlier, if you did end up adding your elastic in where the loophole starts on the side, you would have a much more seamless look. You just want to make sure that your elastic strip is a bit longer so that it fits properly. So we're stitching our elastic so it's in place, and then I'm just going to do a double knot to tie it off and make sure that's really secure because we do not want that elastic snagging, and just repeating that for both sides. Now we can finish off our pants. I'm just stitching closed those holes that we made initially at the bottom. I'm using a top stitch thread because that's what they typically use to kind of finish off denim jeans. So if you do want it to kind of have that seamless look, almost like you didn't just rip a hole in it, then you can get that top stitch thread as well. I tried to take my time to make sure the stitches were the same size as the initial stitches that were there, just so that it looked quite seamless, or it didn't look like I had hand stitched this part. So we've closed off those gaps. This is the final reveal. It fits so much better than before. Granted, it is a bit stretchy, which I like. It's not like so tight fitting that I can barely put it on anymore. But let me know if you did find this video helpful, and if you do enjoy videos like this, then make sure you check out this tutorial next.